Looking back, to your past work and interactions, if you could redo something, what would that be?
Another good question. I think that um, I wouldn't change the fact that I ended up in situations where I switched kind of the literatures I was working in um, multiple times. But if I had maybe had known that that was going to happen, I would have done a few things differently. That's not very helpful because it wasn't really and stuff that I anticipated happening. Um, man, yeah, I feel like a lot of what has, a lot of the steps of my professional journey have been somewhat unanticipatable,
Hmm.
and they've all constituted learning opportunities, and I think maybe that is the thing that I've learned along the way, especially I think early in sort of my tenure in this job. There were times you know when before I'd really figured publishing out, or you know to the extent that I have now. Um,
Yes.
and it seemed more mysterious, or when I was trying to get research going and it sometimes felt like a struggle, or I didn't, you know, maybe didn't understand it as well as people that I was comparing myself to did. But when I sort of hit upon the idea that I could frame it to myself, another behavioral economics callback, as a process of learning,
Mhm.
rather than like a static point in time where I needed to know everything. I felt a
Yes.
lot better about thinking of myself as still learning things and still figuring things out, but in a productive way where, I might not know this thing now, or I might not understand exactly how to frame this paper for this journal now, but I'm learning as
Hmm.
part of this process. And even if I don't get it this time, it's going to help me in the future. I feel like that
Absolutely.
reduced my stress a lot. Um, so I guess I wish that I had figured that out earlier, that I could frame the way I thought about the process in a way that would feel better.
We are taking the use of puns or jargon or nerdy language to a whole different level, because I was going to say what you're saying is that there's been path dependency and you've kind
Oh,
of figured stuff out. Though this is great.
yeah.